Welcome back to Real Phonies, where we take a love for movies and television and combine it with very little knowledge about movies and television. I'm your host, Christian. Join me, my co-host, Ian.
Hey, what's up, guys?
Joseph.
Yellow.
Jehu.
What's up?
Here to talk about the last and final Fox X-Men movie, Dark Phoenix. I was thinking we'd go like, no spoilers, general reaction, spoilers, talk about specifics, and then do our rankings.
Yeah, that's right.
I don't want it to turn into an X-Men trilogy. You know what I mean? I want it to more on Phoenix, so I agree with that.
Okay. You want to go first and tell us what your thoughts and feelings were?
Okay.
So wait, what is this movie about?
Oh,
The story is?
This movie follows the X-Men after trying to save some astronauts in space, and they get attacked by a solar flare that we find out is the Phoenix Force, and manifests itself in Jean Grey, and they go to Earth, and everyone fights over her. I don't know.
Yep.
She rebels, and then people want her, and then some people want to kill her.
And it's in the 90s.
And it's set in the 90s for no reason.
Which, yeah, is weird because the other three of these ones they sit in the past, they, made you want to be very aware it was at that time.
Yeah.
This one, it makes no fucking difference that it's in the 90s.
100%.
Which is weird because we're in the fucking middle of 90s nostalgia.
It's weird because they use real presidents in all the other ones, and this one's a fake president.
Right. Yeah.
I hated that. I hated right off the bat because of that.
Okay. Let's just talk about our opinions.
One thing, before we get into opinions, has there been another movie that was a situation like this that was like a lame duck before it came out?
Ooh, that's a good
Because
question.
this was a lame duck movie.
Yeah.
This movie, they started making it that it was going to be another X-Men movie leading to another X-Men movie. And then halfway through, the deal with Disney goes through, and suddenly it's the last X-Men movie, but that's not what they were making.
I would say Suicide Squad's a possibility.
I'm going to go...
I don't know, the DC Universe was canceled at that point?
Yeah, but still, I think
you had Justice League coming out after that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
I'm going to go Star Trek Beyond. Because I don't think we knew if there was going to be another one after that. And there hasn't been.
But that's what I'm saying.
Well,
These
Justice
guys
League,
did halfway through.
And we,
totally
the audience,
know they
also
were
knew.
done.
Yeah. That's fair.
Everyone's so aware of the industry news. Everyone knows that Marvel owns them. And it's like everyone knows that now.
Right.
Before, people didn't used to know that.
There's no
You know what I mean?
insiders anymore.
Yeah,
Everybody's a fucking insider.
Like the 16-year-old girl works for me knows that fucking Marvel. You know what I mean? It's like everyone knows.
Right.
She works at a movie theater.
Yeah, I would like to hope that if what you're saying is true, that you come into it with kind of lowered expectations because you know of the background stuff, that would have affected my opinion. But this movie is fucking trash. And I feel like I came into it knowing it was going to be fucking trash, and I still really, really hated it.
I disagree. I thought it was middling. Like, it's, to me, middle of the road, especially compared to some of the other ones.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
I'm right
There's some good stuff in the action scenes, I think. I think it's a little fun. I mean, it's not great. I'm not saying it's good. I'm saying it's
Christian's
I'll tell you this. I watched the old ones working up to this. X-Men Apocalypse, fucking 10 times worse.
X-Men Apocalypse is barely.
Yeah.
Well, we shouldn't get too far.
You're right, but
there,
the space.
But it's barely a movie.
Yeah, but the space stuff is good. It's quick, but I like that action scene.
It was
different.
supposed to be more space stuff, apparently.
Yeah, but I liked the mutants' powers in space. I thought that was cool. Did it make a ton of sense? No. Was Nightcrawler using duct tape on his helmet? Yes. But you know what? It was fun, and I liked it.
I hated this movie. From the opening minutes, I hated this movie. No one should allow Simon Kinberg to not even only direct. No one should ever let him write a movie again.
I wrote that down because Simon Kinberg is a name that I was familiar with. Mm-hmm. Like, I've seen it before, but I was like, what has he written? And so I went back and looked at his IMDb page. He wrote Triple X, the one with Ice Cube in it. Mr. and Mrs. Smith, which is actually a good movie.
Yeah,
that is probably the only thing
The Ice
on here
Cube Triple X is probably the best Triple X.
Disagree. I like the new one. X-Men: The Last Stand, Jumper with Hayden Christensen, Sherlock Holmes, which is actually pretty good.
The Robert Downey one?
Yeah, the Robert Downey one.
That's a plus. Yeah.
This Means War, which is
that's a Chris Pratt, Tom Hardy movie.
Yeah.
Chris Pine, but understandable. I'd have to. Mick G would be another one I'd like to go back to just to see that dude's movies. I don't know if they've always been super sexist, but that movie is crazy sexist.
Yeah, it's not good.
The Fantastic Four with the Josh
Trank one.
Yeah. And both Days of Future Past and X-Men Apocalypse. So I'm not sure what this guy has done to deserve
He's
more.
got some naked pictures of some executive.
That's what I'm saying. I'm trying to figure that out.
Without giving a spoiler away, there were moments of dialogue in this movie where it just the setup was like it was complete setup for a payoff that's not even good dialogue, which is like there are two people and one person's like, you got to help me find her, and you just know the moment they say that sentence, the next words are, if I find her, I'm gonna kill her.
Well,
and it's horrible. A fucking 8-year-old can write that.
See, I'm with Ian. I thought it was okay. It's just weird that this is the second time they've made this movie, and they really didn't do a much better job than the
It's
first time.
very similar.
I would argue they did a much worse job than the first time.
This is better than Last Stand. But
Fucking disagree.
but
We'll
no.
get to it. We'll get to it later.
But my thing is, they made a mistake in that this could have been great. Because look, this is your last X-Men movie. You know that, right?
Yeah.
But
why the
they
fuck
didn't know
They
that.
didn't know that at the time, and they've said that it was meant to be. Hurt's right. It was intended to be 2 movies.
Okay, because I was wondering, if it's your last one, why are you putting some dude with fucking weaponized braids as the villain? Why not put Juggernaut? Why
Right.
not put, Mr. Sinister? Why not throw anyone fucking in there?
Well,
Because
see,
you're
and
not
that's-
doing it anymore.
That's part of the problem. The chick is supposed to be Selena, right? Like the chick he's talking to.
I think so. Yes.
And she has like one line of dialogue, and it's just kind of in the background. And she's a decently sized X-Men villain that they belittle to nothing.
No, I know. Yeah, there were mistakes made, but I think the action scenes are good. Like the action scene where Jean.
You can't do Juggernaut either because you did him in Last Stand, and you don't want it to be the exact same movie.
Well, yeah.
I mean, they don't really seem to care
but
that
when I,
much.
when I say Juggernaut, I mean like big villains. Like there's a lot
Right.
of big villains they could use. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like cooler villains. But the action scene with space to talk about. The other one I really liked, I thought was really well done, was the one where Jean Grey's goes to her dad's house and the X-Men confront her. And where Mystique, that thing.
Right.
Yeah.
I thought it was cool them going up, like the Quicksilver scene. I like Storm, I like their powers going up against the ultra powerful Jean Grey.
Right.
I thought that was well done. It's some of the dialogue is not that bad.
Well,
I love the F word that Cyclops drops.
dude. It
The
is
one F word is
It
by
is funny,
Cyclops.
Like 3/4 of the way through this movie, they just discover they can cuss. Like there's no cussing up until that point, and then everybody after that's just like fuckity fuck. But
I am mind boggled right now.
I knew something like this was going to happen. We never agree on anything.
the thing is, the Dark Phoenix saga in comics, which sometimes is varying what exactly issues people call that, but. The story that is most regarded is that. I think it's 127 through like 138 or something like that. It's pretty overrated.
Yeah.
It's like, and it has 2 really good bits that one of them they don't have access to in this, and the other one we'll get to in spoilers, they just don't access. So it's like, why did they make this movie again and still not make it? And I'll talk about the one they don't have access. Really, the big moment in the Dark Phoenix saga was Wolverine's first big moment. He had been in X-Men comics, and he was already a super popular character, but he was kind of like he was on the cartoons, where he always talked about, I'm a murdering fool, but he never did much murdering. About halfway through Dark Phoenix, he goes fucking murder crazy. And they couldn't do that in this, and not only that, they didn't have anyone play his part, which was the person who basically... I've been there. I understand what you're going through.
I think they tried to have
They could have used Magneto for that.
That's what they were trying.
But because of other things that happen in the movie, they have to use him for the exact opposite of that. So, again, I'm not saying this movie is great, but I'm saying I didn't hate it.
Yes.
And I think some people in it did pretty good jobs. I think McAvoy and God, what's Magneto's name? Why can't it?
Michael Fassbender.
Michael Fassbender. Those guys have totally.
You fucking know how to say his name all this time? What the fuck?
I'm not consistent.
Those guys at this point, I would have expected to just be phoning it in, but they look
No,
like
they
they were
are,
really
yeah.
trying.
I really thought Sophie Turner did good.
I think she did okay.
I think who's the worst is Jessica Chastain. Very underused.
100%.
Very underwritten.
Yeah.
And
look-
why isn't she a Skrull? She should have been a Skrull.
The rumor was it was supposed to be.
I was going to save that for spoilers, but yeah, these guys were totally supposed to be the Skrulls.
Should have been.
Yeah.
Well,
should have been.
Because at one point, the Skrulls were like Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch. They were split between both companies. Both companies had rights.
No,
to it.
Fox has them.
Yeah.
Fox could have done it.
I actually felt like this is James McAvoy's worst turn as Xavier. I felt like they were trying to play on Xavier in First Class.
Yeah.
Which is like the cocky kind of, but like turn it dark. And I didn't feel like he had the gravity to pull the dark side. I will say, I think Michael Fassbender, gives it as much as he has.
No,
in
I
all
absolutely
of them.
agree.
And I agree with you. I think Sophie Turner does a good job. I just want to say the one thing to your point. I think the reason why the Dark Phoenix saga is so iconic or people love it is because you took a character that had been around for 20 plus years and you flipped them in a believable fashion.
Right.
You had built up to it successfully. That's the problem with this movie. You spend no time with Jean Grey in Apocalypse. None. You have no connection to her. And then 100% you flip her and she's supposed... I don't care she's killing her friends. I don't know her.
That is true.
I don't like any of her friends either.
I will say, I think that is one of the things that I liked about this one more than Apocalypse, is they gave the younger cast something to do.
Yes.
But it's still, I agree, you weren't attached to her by the time she had flipped.
Is Ty Sheridan good in this, or even passable in this?
I think Ty Sheridan's good in this. You know what the thing is, though? Again, because of my 30 Rock obsession, I'm really attached to James Marsden. So I'm predisposed to kind of dislike him, but I thought he did all right.
I think Ty Sheridan's fine in the role. I think the time jump hurts him because he looks like he's 17.
Yes.
Yeah.
He was fine as Cyclops when he's supposed to be 17.
Right.
But now that he's supposed to be 27, I don't buy it.
I don't actually know how old he actually is. He's
Somebody
probably
needs
closer to
just
that.
mention that half of the cast is supposed to be fucking
That's what I'm
60.
saying. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
These movies need to be looked at in a vacuum because if
Michael
you look at
Fassbender was in the Holocaust.
it's a little ridiculous.
Oh man, we should dig into spoilers.
Yeah.
Let's just
Oh,
go.
worse than Transformers.
Oh yeah, no, way worse than Transformers.
I'm going with better than
I'm
Transformers.
going like right at the line better.
Yeah, that's-
right at the line
I mean,
better.
I would watch this again, and I'll probably never on purpose watch Transformers again.
This is a friendship ender. I hate you guys so much right now.
I was really prepared for us to just shit on this for like 30
Me
minutes.
too, man.
And now we're going to have to fight about it.
I figured if anyone was going to be in it, I thought it was going to be Hurt. But Ian too, just come on.
Ian, after hating Endgame.
I know.
Hold on. I'm judging these on way different levels. You know
I mean, definitely, you were expecting a lot more out of it. You're expecting nothing out
The
of it.
Endgame is better than this movie, just so we're clear on where I'm lying. You know what I mean?
So, being a man who's still in the life, how'd this one do at your theater?
Not good.
Yeah,
They need to just give it a break for a bit.
the show I went into, there was like probably 10 people besides us.
There were 6, including myself.
Yeah, it was Friday. It did well, but then after that, like I think all the people who wanted to see it Friday came, and then after that was
I saw it Friday night.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think if they really wanted this movie to succeed, they should have went ahead and greenlit, I made the air quotes there for people at home, a sequel for it to make it seem like it wasn't a lame duck.
Yeah, and then you could have just canceled the
Right.
sequel. Yeah. Yep. So, spoilers.
Spoilers.
What is the spoiler we want to start on?
Man, I don't even know.
Well, I mean,
So
Yeah,
you
had-
hold on. Well, I mean,
What-
the X-Men are now like it's completely different than the other movies. Now they're like society loves them.
Correct.
They're working for the president
For
so-
about 20 minutes.
Yeah, for about 20 minutes. You're right.
And then it
that's,
flips
that's how the movie opens.
really hard.
Yeah.
Xavier's got the high, and that's. I mean, look,
And that's their play up Xavier's hubris. He's
Yeah.
getting awards, and he's on the cover of a magazine, and you
Yeah.
know
He's Odysseus.
loving the life.
and I mean that's one of the things I was going to say about James McAvoy's performance is I don't necessarily think his performance is terrible, but I think the character doesn't make any sense, and so it's
Agreed.
hard to
Yep.
bring that character to life. And that's the problem with the movie as a whole is the writing is so fucking terribly contrived to make conflicts later that like
Oh, yeah, that's a good point.
not like a single interaction makes any fucking sense on a real level. They all feel like they're setups for payoffs later down the
Well,
line.
it's the exact same problem we've had with Game of Thrones lately. Is that
Yeah.
you're sacrificing character to drive plot. You're not letting the plot drive the character. You're changing the character to fit your plot, and that's what happens with I think a lot of these people. Even the little bit she's in, but fucking Mystique, like. You know, the first 2 movies, First Class and Days of Future Past, and I agree this kind of changes in Apocalypse, I understand that, but you had a person who's really towing the line between good and bad, Brotherhood, X-Men, and then now she's just all on board. In fact, she's so good, she's calling Charles out on his shit.
Yep.
And it's just...
Ex-women. That was the worst line in the movie.
God,
she totally was like, how
Hashtag
many
Simon
words
Kinberg.
do I have to say to get my
100%.
paycheck?
She's
Yeah.
awful.
You know,
you know what? Her
Yeah.
death scene, pretty good.
Yeah.
I liked her death
Yeah,
scene.
I did
but
too.
that was the most convincing performance in the whole movie.
I also thought Nicholas Hoult was fine in it.
Fuck Nicholas Hoult.
I hate him because of this fucking serums. I'm done with fucking serums.
Right.
Like, if you just cast in one of these movies, put on the fucking makeup.
Yeah.
If
You know what I
Kelsey
mean?
Grammer can wear the fucking makeup,
Yeah.
you can wear the makeup. He was Frasier for like 20 fucking years. What have you done?
Yeah.
You were like okay in a really good movie.
Also-
That's the only thing I can think of.
Also, he like transforms at will sometimes.
Yeah.
Now he can.
I've realized watching the old ones that's why I hate Nicholas Hoult, because he doesn't want to put on the Beast makeup,
Yeah.
and it really fucking bothers me.
Well, I mean, don't take the part.
That's
There's
what I mean.
somebody else
Yeah.
who wants that part. I tell you one thing that did really bug me about
Somebody
it.
with a less punchable face.
The one thing I really think, when given the opportunity to do the exact same things, Fox has done better than Marvel is Quicksilver.
Yep.
And they take him off the board in the fucking first 15
Because
minutes.
he's not a good enough writer to figure out how to fucking use him without breaking the game.
That really, because
Also, unsurprisingly, that this franchise comes back and steals the Superman bit from Justice League.
Yes,
Yeah.
100%.
With Jean Grey.
Well, it goes to. I was about to say, you're right. He doesn't know how to write him, so he combines what the one thing Bryan Singer did really well with like the one thing that
Zack Snyder-
Snyder did well, and he merges it together to make something that's actually a little bit worse than both of them.
No, absolutely.
well, I really think the last half of this movie needed him too, because it needed some comic relief. You guys brought up Zack Snyder. Sarah was basically like, "This is basically a DC movie. It's just a bunch of people standing around looking sad." You know,
I didn't like the end action scene.
See, I thought the train sequence was the best part of the movie.
I thought there were good parts, but I didn't like how like it was just generic humans. Like the Jessica Chastain she's an alien race who are shapeshifters. I didn't like how why were you not turning into aliens at that point? Like the jig's fucking
Right.
up. Like they didn't want to spend. This movie is cheap all around.
it's super
You know what I
cheap.
mean? Like we don't have the
Super,
money
super
for the
cheap.
makeup on the aliens, so we're going to leave them in their human form at the very
Well,
end.
especially
attack.
because of that. That was something they did after the movie has done,
Reshoots.
and they redid it. You
Yep.
know, that's the part that they changed. But
somebody.
I thought the action was well shot in that because Simon Kinberg didn't direct that part either.
Really?
Yeah, that was the like assistant director.
Oh, really? Something that X-Men usually do is they're usually background cameos from various characters. There were two pretty cool ones in this. Dazzler shows up. And
Yep.
that
Fuck
was cool.
Dazzler.
Dazzler was also introduced
No.
in this storyline, if I remember correctly, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes,
Huh.
she was. Yes.
Okay, well, that I was gonna say, because to me that was like, okay, we're just sticking this in
Shoehorn it
here,
in.
yeah, to be bullshitty fan service. But if it's in the original story, that's all right.
And
I like that scene, the X-Men keg party.
I like
Right.
I like the fact that she's not like a good singer. I like the fact that it's like terrible lip syncing over like
Yeah.
a shitty light show. Like I love that. It's great.
me and Jones noticed Quentin Quire from the Grant Morrison run.
I don't even know who that is.
There's a story called Riot at Xavier's star him. You should watch it. It's what I think should be the first Marvel X-Men movie.
He gets weird after that.
Yeah.
Like, he gets like trapped in like a canister and
Yeah.
all sorts of
He
weird
becomes
shit.
Phoenix.
Yeah.
But
The Riot at Xavier bit's fun.
yeah. And the other bit that they, that makes Dark Phoenix a classic that they don't use in this really is that Jean Grey dies.
Yeah.
And this, she doesn't really die. She kind of sort of just dissipates, and then you see at the end, she's just flying around up there.
She just turned
'cause
into
it's-
Captain Marvel,
yeah.
I guess.
Fucking X-Men The Last Stand all over again.
Dude, it really is crazy that they just. Why did they make this movie twice?
Yeah. Instead of Magneto picking up the Golden Gate Bridge, Jean Grey picks up a train.
Yep.
I
Yeah.
mean, like, it's just so freaking. They even dissolve people the same way. Like, they manifest her power set the exact same way. I'm going to touch you, and you're going to just break apart into dust. I'm going to Thanos you.
Yeah, there's a lot of that.
What they should have done if they were going for R rating, just have her fucking squish them.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Tiny little balls of
I will
meat.
say, the only part of the movie that I actually enjoyed is when Magneto comes to kill her, and she's squishing the helmet
Yeah,
on his
that's
head.
good.
Yes,
I
that's
dug
great.
that part.
Yeah.
That was cool.
I really wish they kind of followed through with it, if I'm honest with you. Not
Yeah.
necessarily go all the way, but like really, really put him in a bad bind there.
What about her making Xavier walk? What do we think of that?
That was
That was like the embodiment of all the things Joseph has said about Bran on this podcast.
It's like it does seem like it's sort of not cool.
It's not
in
PC, right?
2019.
I know, that's what I
it's
thought.
super not cool.
And they like zoomed in on the legs. I was like, I
Yeah.
don't know if I feel good about this.
Yeah, I did not enjoy watching that.
oh man, this fucking movie.
And I just feel like someone should have been like, Jessica Chastain, Sophie Turner, anyone in that moment should have been like, we got to change this.
yeah.
Yes, right.
I am not doing
What
this.
about them naming the school for Jean Grey?
Plot wise, in this movie, it would have made it more sense to name it after Mystique.
Yes.
No, absolutely.
Yeah.
Because really, she didn't make some great heroic sacrifice at the end. Like she, I know that was totally just, and I hate this term, but it was fan service.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
100%. What do we think of Buck, Jessica Chastain's character?
Yeah, I didn't even know her name. Good call.
Yeah,
on
I didn't
that.
even.
So I watched it with subtitles.
Oh,
Oh, you watched it at 9 Mile?
Yeah.
Good
they
for
have
you.
subtitles at 9 Mile.
They do.
Yes, they do. And like, I'm not kidding you guys. Like, legitimately, I can't hear out of my fucking left ear. So it was actually very beneficial for me. I didn't know they did that.
Well, I'm a
but
Netflix subtitles guy, so I would be.
I watch everything with subtitles.
my
too.
hearing is shit too, so it's subtitles all the way.
Yeah.
I'm just OCD. If I can't understand the word, I literally have to rewind.
They
it.
only say her name one time, though.
To me, like, her character notes when she was given the script were like alien and evil, and
Yep.
she's like, "That's enough character development.
Why
There's nothing else
why
to
did
it."
she take this?
It's like she doesn't have a hard time finding work.
No.
Why did she do
She
it?
should have held out.
don't-
She would have gotten a better role
Because the
for a
thing is,
superhero.
when it was, I'm wondering if they hired her under the pretense that she was going to play Lilandria, who's a prominent character in the Dark Phoenix.
Well, that's who
story,
she was reported as playing the
And-
entire time.
and has a much bigger part, and would have had a connection with Charles Xavier and
Yep.
stuff like that. And at some point, they were just like, "Oh fuck it, you're the villain now. Whatever."
Yeah.
We need a bad guy to be the real bad guy. So when Jean
Like,
turns back,
I
everything's
still don't
fine.
understand why she's not that, though.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't understand.
Yeah.
I can't for the life of me. I get, unless you're like, oh, we just wrote this really shitty. We don't want to screw that character over.
Right.
She's the worst part. Like, in case we're not clear, guys, literally the movie starts with like these shitty CGI aliens crash landing, and then one of them goes up to Jessica Chastain, who's just a housewife. She walks out to check on the dog, and then the alien becomes her. And that's the character.
Like-
you know what I mean? She's just like a fucking housewife who becomes an alien.
Like it's basically the T2 bit, but he has a good reason to stay the cop. A cop has like this is just some chick.
Yep.
Yes,
You know.
Yeah.
like they could have morphed into like the president and gotten better
Right,
access. You know,
right.
that was the worst part.
There's
okay.
a lot of fucking issues with this
what,
movie.
what do we think of Genosha with
I
the
thought it was
with the
awful.
shipping crates?
Yeah.
I thought that was pretty cool.
I mean, that seemed like it was set up for a movie we're never going to see.
Yeah.
Genosha was it's Magneto's island, and it was
Oh yeah.
so that's like, and I guess
Look, I feel bad specifically for Michael Fassbender's Magneto because he's constantly just trying to like live his fucking life
At least
and-
the last two movies.
and
he has.
be away from things, and everyone's always trying to drag him back into
Yep.
shit.
Yeah.
I liked the idea, and again, I think Michael Fassbender is the right Magneto for that because Ian McKellen is a bit more like.
menacing.
Well, he's a bit more menacing. He's also kind of a bit more ideologically firm.
Yeah.
Right.
Whereas Michael Fassbender, like he's a leader because people respect him, but he's also still kind of like figuring out what he wants to do, what he needs from life, and I feel like that's what makes that an interesting community.
Ian McKellen's Magneto, you understand him, but you're never on his side.
Right.
A lot of times with these, it's like, oh, I could get on Fassbender's side.
Yeah, I mean, I'd like to see more of that
I mean,
community.
Genosha could make a cool couple of movies because it starts off as a police state where mutants are enslaved, and then it turns into the mutant homeland.
Yeah.
So,
I was expecting more utopian society rather than homeless commune.
it did right. It looked cheap. Everything about the movie looked cheap. I was like, it just you could have like done it in like a normal townhouse and it would look better. It just looked weird. Like it was some shipping containers and they were all homeless bums.
Right.
I will say one of the other problems I had with this movie is it fell into a thing that X-Men has been flirting with for a long time, and I can't remember if they may have gone overboard on it once or twice, but they were like heavy on the fucking standing around and like putting your hand on your head and like having mind battles and psychic battles. And it's
the Star Trek acting when Magneto's trying to
Yeah.
save the helicopter
And so-
was really
it's
it
one of
was.
the-
It got the Shatner award. I personally fucking loved it.
That
I
was
know it
ridiculous.
but I loved it.
as a guy who's making a nerdy ass podcast and who likes a bunch of nerdy ass things, I know this is punching down, but those scenes to me or everything that I think is ridiculous about LARPing.
Right.
And that's all I could think about when I watch any of Xavier in his mind battle or Magneto trying to control the helicopter. It's fucking ridiculous.
I love First Class as a movie, but since First Class, I've always hated James McAvoy's.
Yeah.
There's a
finger
lot of
to
that in
his forehead.
Apocalypse. There's more of that in Apocalypse than the rest of them too, and I hate that.
I just think that I said this last week when I was talking crap about Robert Pattinson. Is I think to do these kind of things, you have to realize it was ridiculous, but play it like it's not ridiculous. And Michael Fassbender in that scene was 100%.
Oh, for sure.
That was maybe my favorite scene in the movie. Honestly.
I will agree with that.
He was like, I can't hold it much longer. He really did
He
go
committed,
for it.
man. It's great.
He really did
That's
go for
I think one of my problems with them, that whole bit kind of like intensifies my hatred for the movie because he's going for it so hard, but the dialogue is so bad.
It's so terrible.
I can't hold it much longer. Like, you don't have to write that. Like,
Yeah, no,
that's
I believe
not-
you can fucking visualize.
That's not necessary for you to say it. Michael Fassbender is acting it. Or again, I said it earlier, the Beast bit, we get it. He's been a villain in every one of these movies. When Beast shows up and says Raven's dead, Magneto doesn't have to say, if I find her, I'm going to kill her. Like, he's some 1992 Arnold Schwarzenegger ripoff villain. Like, it's awful writing.
And then Beast replies, I know.
Yeah. And so bad.
And we've entirely overlooked the main driving character in this is Jean Grey. And, I think Sophie Turner does the best she can with what she has, which I was impressed by because
Me too.
I'm always nervous to see anyone outside of Game of Thrones
Yeah.
acting outside of Game of Thrones.
This movie makes me think she has a future.
Yeah, absolutely.
Game of Thrones didn't make me think that as much.
But
I think she has a future.
I was just the opposite. I thought that particularly in that last season, Sansa was probably the best part of the last season of Game of Thrones, and in this, sometimes it just seemed like she was saying words.
But that's the thing. There's no character there. Like, there's no reason that she does any of the shit that she does in this movie. There's no believable development there.
Right.
In the trailer, there's a scene where after she kills Mystique and she's in the rain, she's talking to the Phoenix Force. Yeah. And she's like, why did you make me do that? Right. I wish we had gotten that version.
Right. Sure, yeah.
That it would have been two people and she's kind
Right.
of arguing with herself. I thought that would have been more
Saying you
interesting.
wanted this to be Venom too?
Sure.
I think she's got good charisma. Like, the scene where I saw it was the scene where she's talking to Cyclops and she's like, and he's like, are you okay? And she's like, I'm great. Like, my sensor dials up to 100. Like, I don't know. She she's got something there. You know what I mean?
I absolutely think so too. I will say one of the problems for her career going forward, she's too damn tall for movies.
Yeah.
Because I'm pretty sure every single fucking other actor is on some kind of box.
I mean, I really feel like Ty Sheridan was on a box.
100%.
Yeah.
Can someone explain to me why Jean has Phoenix powers in X-Men Apocalypse, but the Phoenix Force is apparently
Like I said,
well,
watch him in a vacuum.
Each one is its own universe.
100%.
Completely agree.
That is so annoying.
Yeah.
It just no one remembered that she was already the
Simon
Phoenix.
Kinberg wrote that fucking movie.
I know it, man. One of the other before we, I
mean, that's the most Transformers-y thing.
Like,
about
she's
this.
literally the reason they kill Apocalypse at the end. Like,
Yep.
Right.
she's the MacGuffin basically at the
Yeah.
end of that movie, and then they do it again and just nope, forget that.
as we're winding down and finding our individual nitpicky things, I just wanted to nitpick at the very end when it's the Jean Grey school for the gifted
Yep.
youngsters and Beast is the fucking
The worst picture ever.
right.
It almost is like that Wolverine meme. That's what I thought of when I saw
he's
it.
got a picture of Raven Mystique on his desk. One, it's the shittiest picture, and two, it's in her shitty ass, publicity X-Men uniform. Like, what? That would be like if my wife had a picture of me in my fucking rave outfit.
Right.
Like, what?
Also, a thing I just thought about with the Jean Grey sign at the end, really, somebody should probably mount that.
Yeah.
He just took it out there and hung it up. I think maybe it was just a prank. Maybe they didn't really... that's just something Cyclops is pushing for.
I was good. And the Beast thing, they're so wishy-washy on it. Yeah, they had a thing in First Class, but for 2 movies, there was no
Not a
Beast.
thing,
There was
yeah,
no
yeah.
Beast Mystique
Yeah.
relationship. They put her with Magneto, so it's all of a sudden he's his long lost love, and it's
Right.
I don't know. Like I said,
There were so again.
Are you
I
still
love
saying this is better than Transformers?
by a smudge. Yes, like I
Oh.
said, it's not it's not a train wreck. I thought it was going to be a train wreck.
That's the thing. It's
yeah.
not a train.
No.
It's not nearly...
It literally has a train wreck in it. It is a train
That's a
wreck.
good point.
We're the last of the First Class. Maybe the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
What do we think about Beast being the professor at the end?
That's fine.
I mean, it was
exactly how Last Stand ends. So
I mean, it's.
I thought Storm becomes professor.
like Beast is walking around the halls at the. I guess you're right. Storm does kind of do.
But I think at the end of this, it's basically just math. Who do we got left to make the head of the thing?
Also, everybody else is on a fucking first name basis, but we're calling Storm instead of Aurora.
What was her? Is her accent supposed to be some sort of African accent?
I think
No,
she's
Egyptian.
definitely going for like a knockoff Wakanda.
because
but
it
she's
sounded like Irish.
She's Egyptian. I watched Apocalypse, so I know that. She
Yeah.
was like a street rat,
Yeah, she's
Aladdin
Egyptian.
style.
Man,
in
but
Egypt.
as we know, there's no connection from that movie to this
That's
movie.
a good point.
So there's no explanation why. Because I think Halle Berry tries in the first one to have a little bit of an
A
accent.
little tiny bit, yeah.
And then in
does
2
not,
and 3,
yeah,
she
gives
does
it up.
Yeah.
Drops it immediately.
So let's go to our rankings.
Okay,
Okay,
so we're gonna
First of all, before we do the rankings, I want to rank the rankings. Because we decided that in the we're going to put Transformers in the list,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
So everything under it will be worse.
Correct.
I'm going with Ian will have the most underneath Transformers. I'll have the least, and I don't know where to put you two guys. I feel like you'll probably be right under me.
Okay, I'm fine with going that.
Well, I want to start just because. So what we're going to do here is we're going to now that the Fox X-Men universe is coming to a close, we're going to do a retrospective of all the movies since 2000. Is it 2000s? X-Men?
2000.
Yeah, 2000.
Yeah.
Yeah, not 2000 X-Men. That would be too many. And just rank them from top to bottom and determine which ones are better or worse than Transformers. So for me, top and
we going worse or best?
Go worst first.
Worst. Worse.
Worse.
Dark Phoenix is the worst one to me.
No, it's
It is the
Dude,
worst.
oh my
Apocalypse
gosh, you're
isn't
insane.
even a fucking movie.
yeah, Apocalypse.
Tell me a thing
No.
that happened in Apocalypse.
You're wrong.
That Magneto scene in the woods pretty cool.
That
That's
they
in
had
Last
already
Stand.
done in like 2 other fucking movies.
I'm not arguing
better.
with you.
You have
Apocalypse,
Last Stand? I mean,
Just
Apocalypse is right over it. Then the Wolverine, which it was the most cardinal sin of the Wolverine is it's the most forgettable movie I've ever seen. X3, Deadpool 2, Days of Future Past,
whoa.
then Transformers.
Whoa!
Yeah.
what? You have Deadpool above Transformers?
Okay, you might
Below,
be Ian.
yeah.
And then I got X-Men Origins, which, as you know, is a guilty pleasure of mine.
It's so fucking horrible. Your list is bullshit.
I would watch that. I would watch
not
the
even a
angry.
You have the
Never
worst
been.
list out of anyone
I
here.
would watch that movie 100 times before I'd watch Transformers again. X-Men, Deadpool, First Class, X2, and then Logan at the very top. And granted, I would rather watch X2 than I'd rather watch Logan, but Logan is objectively the better movie.
Fair enough.
You went too fast there at the end.
That is a risque list.
Is it?
That is a
this is controversial.
shitty
You know, it's funny because
I think we're gonna have.
okay,
I think we're gonna have a similar list.
So contrarians are usually the worst people on earth. But I
That's-
always say Joseph isn't a contrarian. He genuinely hates.
He does.
But that list was contrary.
Mine
First
is,
of all, your love of X-Men Origin is the only time I'm like, maybe Joseph is just doing this as a bit.
Yep.
But that list was a bit.
mine's not totally far off from his.
All right, who wants to go next?
Okay, I'll go next.
Do it.
My 12th, last place, X-Men Origins Wolverine.
Yes.
God awful.
Yes.
11 is Dark Phoenix.
Good.
Then Apocalypse. Then the Wolverine.
You have Dark Phoenix 11. You guys are too hard on Dark Phoenix.
I just rewatched Apocalypse as well this week.
and you like it more?
Yeah, I think the action scenes are better in it, and Oscar Isaacs is at least trying. That's more than Jessica Chastain can say.
He's got
I would agree
but
with
he's got
that
a
one point.
He's got a prosthetic butt chin.
I agree. They do him wrong. I'm just saying he's trying. She's not.
I would agree with that.
The Wolverine, you're right. Completely forgettable. That third act is god awful.
terrible.
Last Stand as a Deadpool 2, Transformers. I told you it's close.
It was really close.
X-Men, Deadpool. This is where it gets crazy. Logan. I really don't like the ending of Logan. I don't like the clone bit. I think like the fight scene in the woods is good, but I just don't like that. Like the one thing you created to kill Wolverine is Wolverine. I don't know. Didn't love it.
He's the ultimate killing machine. He's
Yeah.
the best at what he does.
I think it would be cooler to bring back Sabretooth. X2, Days of Future Past, First Class.
Days of Future Past is your number 2?
I really like Days
You
of Future Past.
fucking monster.
Days of Future Past did not hold up for me this week. I forgot that Xavier takes a serum that allows him to walk, but somehow also negates his powers.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
That is...
It's written by Simon Kinberg.
I mean, the thing is, I think that makes sense in the context of the story. I realize it's a plot device that needs to happen, but that's how stories work.
I don't know.
You know?
That threw me off.
That's
Like,
how shitty stories work.
I was like, how did I let that slide?
I think it makes more sense. The Xavier you get in 70s Xavier in Days of Future Past makes more sense than the Xavier you get in Dark Phoenix, which is almost the same Xavier, just kind of maybe flipped. Like one is he's overcome with how awesome he is, the other one's overcome with how much of a dick he is. But I just think after how First Class ends, I feel like that makes sense, the place that Xavier would be. But
there was a scene where Xavier's like he's about to do heroin, and he's like, "No, I'm not going to do the needle," and it was like so ridiculous.
It's fucking
like, are you
absurd.
withdrawing
Do you guys
from
ever
your
watch-
walking
you guys
serum?
watch the Rogue Cut?
You know what? I've owned it since the day it came
No,
out.
I
I still
haven't.
haven't watched it.
The Rogue Cut is like a way better movie.
Really?
It's like an extra 20 minutes. There's a lot more in the like original group people. It's a better movie.
Ooh, I should watch that.
I just don't know if I can do it again.
I just watched it. Well, never mind.
I've
just
rewatched
watched-
Days of Future Past several
You
times.
put it
I
as
like
number fucking 2, so obviously.
I watched Logan one time, and I have no interest in ever watching
I
it
agree
again.
with about 80% of your list,
Fair enough.
All right, here's the
which I
definitive.
think is the best we're going to get.
This is the definitive best list.
Okay.
All right, worst by far X-Men Origins Wolverine.
Fuck you guys.
No option. Second, Deadpool for my personal hatred.
Jeez.
I do not love a dick joke. You know what I mean? I could do without. It's cheap. You know, it's just not good.
I forgot how much you love this movie. I'm glad you stayed on brand.
Yeah, if you love a dick joke, it's for you. If not, it's a loser. Next, Last Stand. That is the fucking Phoenix story that should be at the bottom of your list, not this one. Next,
I like the Cure bits.
Ben Foster. Next, X-Men Apocalypse. By far the worst of the original trilogy. Then,
You just said
Last Stand. Well, like the Michael Fassbender.
the young trilogy. Yeah,
when I say reboot.
the reboot.
prequel.
Yeah, I
the
gotcha.
prequel trilogy.
Sure.
Then Transformers, and
Wow.
then I
You have a lot.
There's a
better
lot
than
of
that.
what
shit
I
better
said.
than Transformers.
I
More
do.
than I expected.
The Wolverine, I think, is pretty cool, man. I like that ninja scene. It falls apart in the third act with Silver Samurai, but there's good stuff in there. It's cool. It's a different. It's like a smaller movie.
you know,
The
here's
continuity doesn't
here's
make
the
thing.
bullet
fucking
train
sense.
scene alone is fucking dope as shit.
It's not bad. I will say, if instead of the like the whole bit at the very end, they did like Wolverine versus the fucking 99 from Quentin Tarantino, that shit would have been way doper. It would have been higher on my list.
Yep.
Yeah.
The movie's not bad.
If the movie ends when
Or
he's
Crazy
like
80. Is that Crazy 80?
Crazy
Whatever.
88.
Fuck it, I don't know.
when he's coming into the city and fighting all the ninjas and they keep shooting him with
Yeah.
arrows. If that's the end of the movie, I'm more on board.
And I'm also Hurt told me
But I
about
don't remember anybody else.
the
I
extra
don't remember
credit
anything.
scene where they give him the Wolverine fucking uniform.
Well, and
That's
just-
the one that fucking sold it for me. Have you seen that?
Yeah,
That
100%.
shit's
He
fucking.
never wears
Just
it.
in general, this is one of the few movies where you have to go with the extended cut. Because the part that they decided to cut out of this movie was all the parts where Wolverine kicks ass. It's just a whole movie. The theater cut is a whole movie of Wolverine just losing.
Yeah.
But he basically does fight the 88 in the extended cut. He kills like 600 ninjas before that.
Yeah.
they
Yeah,
get
he
him
kind
with
of
the
does.
arrows.
He kind of does. Then Deadpool 2, I think it's much better than the original. I've only watched it once in theaters, but I like that sky parachute jump with X-Force.
I mean, that is funny.
Then Dark Phoenix.
Jesus.
Fuck.
I think Dark Phoenix is a solid C. I think,
Not
it,
only
I
do
think
you
it's
think
a
it's
good
better than Transformers, you think it's better than Deadpool 1.
Deadpool 2 and Deadpool 1.
I agree with you. I think Deadpool 2 is a big pile of shit.
Then original X-Men. I think it's a little cheesy. Haven't watched it in a while, but I think that Statue of Liberty scene holds up.
I like that scene.
Then First Class. It's a little cheesy, but I think it's the most X-Men movie.
I mean,
I think
again,
it's supposed to be cheesy. It's like this
No, it
high
is.
60s.
and that one is the one that pulls the most from the talents of McAvoy and Fassbender,
Yes.
and I think that's the best part of that
Also-
series because they're the best part.
And I think Kevin Bacon's underrated in that movie.
No, he absolutely is.
like,
Kevin Bacon's a really good villain
he's,
in that.
He's pretty
No,
good
That
in it.
first scene when he comes in speaking German, you're like,
Yeah.
Kevin fucking Bacon.
Yeah,
what?
like, he's pretty intimidating. He's pretty good. Anything?
I was just going to say, he does the best version of that Holocaust scene of like the 9 times.
Yeah. Yeah.
Though I also like the one from the very first one.
Yeah.
The Cuban Missile Crisis is dope too. Then Days of Future Past, and I'm more on those future scenes, which are fucking cool.
Yeah.
Like that's the best X-Men action. in those future with
in the future?
Sunspot and
They're
Colossus.
brutal as hell for a
I know. And,
PG-13 movie.
Yeah, Iceman's getting his head chopped off.
Yeah.
Only thing I don't, and I realized to put it to you, they fuck over Bishop
Yes.
so
Yeah.
hard. Bishop is nobody in that
Yeah.
movie.
Yes. But yeah, I like seeing Magneto, Wolverine, like them all together at the end. I thought that was cool. Then X2, which is probably the most rewatchable, but I think I'm with Nips. Logan's the far superior. Like, Logan's an Oscar movie.
It is.
You know
It
what I mean?
absolutely
It's an
is.
Oscar
Very,
movie.
very
so
good.
that's the best one, and that's my list.
All right.
The best list. So I only had 4 worse than
should've looked up my
Transformers. How many
list
did you
for
have? Before you start, what are we at?
First of all, you were
six.
way more positive than I thought you were going to be. I thought like 1 or 2 of these movies you would be above Transformers.
No.
I'm 6.
6, and I'm 4.
Man, I'm going to look like a mark. Okay, at the bottom, Wolverine Origins.
Fuck you guys.
The thing is, with
We're all
this,
against Nips.
this one,
It's not even.
I love that we all 3 had it.
It's not, I understand. I figured it would be below Transformers for all of you, but the very bottom. This is.
It's a bad movie.
Anyway, carry on.
second from the bottom, Apocalypse.
Okay.
Barely even a movie. The only thing I can even remember from it is there was a Metallica song in it. Like, literally, that's the only memorable thing for me of that movie. Okay, Transformers.
Wow.
See, here's the thing with you guys. You guys have been spoiled by Marvel movies.
Hey, ours is a perfect median.
Wait a minute.
We put it right dead
think
center.
Last Stand is better than a fucking
I'm going to get to my thinking. On that.
I think we are applying it correctly.
I agree.
Just above the line of Transformers, Dark Phoenix.
Yep.
It's barely better. Now, at this point, I would just like to point at every movie above this are the only ones I actually count. Those 3 I don't even count because I think by existing, they kind of piss in the pool. Right above that, X3. And I'm going to tell you why. I've maybe watched X3 more than I have any other superhero movie because it just seems like there's a good movie in there.
It does.
They
I
just
agree.
don't put it together. And I think with the changes that they do in Days of Future Past, it makes it a better movie. The things I don't like about it, it sort of erases. So, and also the best moments in Days of Future Past don't work if you don't have the worst parts of X3. Next up, Deadpool. You know, serviceable, funny, a lot of dick. Above that, the Wolverine. I make sure to note extended and unrated. It's a much better movie with the whole thing. Above that, Deadpool 2. I think it's better than Deadpool 1 because it's funnier. These are supposed to be comedies, and they land the jokes better on this.
Josh Brolin was great as Cable.
Josh Brolin's great. That Brad Pitt shit fucking kills me.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a fun
It was
movie.
underrated because he was Thanos at the same time, but
Yeah.
he's pretty good in that movie.
Above that, first X-Men movie. I think it does look cheesy, you know. It just sucks because I think it came out just close enough to the Matrix to not learn from the Matrix. It was still like a 90s action movie, even though it was in the 2000s. But I mean, this whole franchise is built on the performances of Patrick Stewart and Ian McKellen.
Yeah.
The chemistry those two have make these fucking.
A lot of leather.
A lot of leather.
Above that, Logan. I think Logan's a really good movie, but as an XN movie, it's more of like a Western and stuff like that. You know?
Noir.
Also, it's more of a noir.
It's more of a Western.
But it like, I don't know. I mean, I love it. I know objectively it's probably the best movie on here, but I'm not doing the best ones. I'm doing my favorite ones. After that, X2, that was probably, the one where they really landed. I mean, that scene where, Wolverine goes ape shit and kills a bunch of soldiers.
It's great. Yeah.
That shit's dope. I really like a lot of the decisions they make in it, like combining the sort of God loves, man kills zealot with Wolverine's backstory. I think was a good choice to make. It's a solid movie.
Only good version of Nightcrawler.
Only good version of Nightcrawler.
God, that scene, the opening
The
scene,
president
was
opening
fucking
scene, it's
so
the best
cool.
scene.
Dope ass cold opening.
The only problem I have with it is that weird ass scene where Jean talks through Professor X to say goodbye to Cyclops.
Yeah.
That shit is awkward as fuck. Number 2, Days of Future Past, and I will say it was almost one for me, just because I think it has the best emotional moments. when Wolverine shows up at the end and finds out everything he did was right, and Jean's back and Scott's back, and you see the good beast and stuff like that. Like, I got genuinely teary in that dumb movie. So.
I would agree there's good moments, but there's a lot more dumb moments than I remember. Like, I forgot Magneto literally puts a bunch of metal in the Sentinels, and then come the president, he can just control all their guns and everything just because he slid some metal poles in there.
I mean,
that makes no fucking sense.
That might be one of those things I just never question comic book science.
But it's fine.
I just want to be on board. And the best one is First Class. It's, it has the best performances. It's got the most style of any of these. Like, it's not just people walking around in leather. It's it's a good movie.
Ours was closer than I thought it was going to be. Yeah.
Yeah.
Except for you put Transformers.
I think objectively, the only real differences are is where we put Transformers.
Transformers.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So you guys are, I don't know.
I think I don't want to turn this into Days of Future Past podcast, but I think the thing about Days of Future Past is it is the most comic booky by also being good. It doesn't sacrifice any of its comic book nature to be a decent movie.
And I tell you what, where this franchise most went off the rails was not really using
embracing
that as a reset and embracing it. They should have recast Wolverine at that point. They still could have done Logan as its own separate thing.
Yep.
It should have been the do-over at that point instead of this like middle ground. Is this the same thing or is it not? I don't know.
I also think you really got to abandon the time jumps because it really makes no sense.
Definitely after the first one, they shouldn't have done it again.
Yeah.
No.
The rest of them should have been in the 70s.
All right. Well,
Well,
and that's the T.
Those are the lists. It is up to you, the listener, to determine which of us is right and which of us is wrong.
Legitimate question before we move on. Do you think, and I'm sure I know the answer, do you think Marvel uses the Dark Phoenix ever?
I mean, ever is a long ass time. I think they go at least 10 years before touching it.
Yeah. I think
if Marvel movies are still a thing in 10 years.
I think they may use it, but they may use it more like Grant Morrison used it when he did it in his run. They're not going to do the Dark Phoenix.
Right.
I would agree.
Although technically they never really have.
Kind of like they did with Civil War, I think.
Yeah.
I think they'll maybe take the name of it, but completely change it.
So one of the guys who listen to our podcast, Rafe, Rafe's a huge X-Men fan. He had this idea, and I actually really like it. I don't think they do it, but I think it's good, and it's worth calling out, is that he thinks it could be used. You have basically a trilogy of X-Men movies, and you build to that, and Jean be the motivator between X-Men versus Avengers, and that be your Avengers movie. And so the Avengers see her as a threat, and the X-Men see her as this friend that they want to save. And that's the thing that motivates them.
I don't know Rafe, but I'm 100% on board with that. If this hadn't have fucked it up, I think that would totally be the thing, because that would be a great thing to build towards. With
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. I want to see, there's so many cool things that they could do now. So I hope they do that kind of stuff.
I hope they take their time. I'm fine with a break from X-Men. I mean, I want those characters. Like, I want to see Wolverine exist next to Captain America. But
I want to see him fight Hulk. Like, there's a lot of stuff that I want to see.
There's no way there's not already a plan to at
No,
least
there
get Wolverine
definitely-
on screen.
Yeah.
I
also think the general public thinks too much if they're going to be an X-Men movie.
Yeah.
And I don't think that's going to be.
I don't think it's gonna
I think
happen
you
either.
may see these characters introduced in other things.
I think after they get introduced into other things and get a positive reception, then they'll bring them back together in an X-Men
Almost
movie.
like they treated the Avengers.
Yeah. But yeah, farewell, Fox. We,
Aren't going to.
We didn't really like you.
there were some good moments early on, but it wasn't. It's not what it used to be.
No. It's not me, it's you.
Yeah, exactly. So that's it for Dark Phoenix and the Fox X-Men series. What have we been watching, guys?
And you watch Black Mirror, or is it just me?
I did not watch it.
No, none of you?
I have.
It's
didn't
just
really watch
it's just so sad, and they're an hour long.
Okay, well, yeah, I watched the 3 Black Mirrors. I would say they're probably they should stop.
Oh no!
I think it's a little step down. There's one that's like fucking weird. As weird as like the President and the Pig one.
Okay.
With Anthony Mackie and Black Manta from Aquaman.
Yeah.
And it's if you haven't been spoiled, like I don't know.
I have not been
haven't.
spoiled.
So-
Go
Yeah, I know.
into it and like it's the weirdest shit.
Well, now I kind of want to watch it.
There's one with the guy from Sherlock.
Yeah, who plays Moriarty.
Moriarty.
Yeah.
And that one's
I heard the ending of that one is crazy.
yes, that shit's crazy, but it's like a smaller. They're like much more season 1 smaller stories.
Okay.
And then the Miley Cyrus one's the weakest one for sure. The other two are pretty decent. They're not bad. They're just not great.
Yeah.
Ever since Netflix took it over, I feel like it's taken a step. When it was like a BBC thing, I feel like it was much better.
I don't know. I mean, one, I think
Netflix has way more production value.
Yeah, you're pushing a lot of the same concepts in dressed differently over time. So you run out of.
I mean,
material
my favorite
That
one
is true.
My favorite one's that Callister one. So I mean, that's,
well, I was about to say
that's a
the
Netflix
USS Callister one's a really great one. The San Junipero was one after Netflix took it over. So there are some really good ones after that. But
yeah, those two and the one with Dom Gleason that you told me that
I think
that
that's
was
the-
the
that's
first
a
one you
BBC.
recommended
That's
to
the
me.
second
No, I know,
season.
but that one's real. Those are my three favorites.
yeah, that one's the
Yeah.
best.
That's my favorite episode of the
Yeah.
show.
And
Or
I
you've never watched Black Mirror.
I've never watched any of it.
You need
yeah, it's like a better Twilight Zone.
Yeah.
And
I
watched,
think I'm going to start it soon, but I just haven't yet.
You would like it, yeah. And then I watched the old X-Men, which you already talked about. That's it.
I am a big fan of the movie Chef by Jon Favreau, and now there is a Chef show
there is
on Netflix. So, like a little, I guess, backstory. Chef was made after Jon Favreau had made Cowboys vs. Aliens. And before this point, really, Jon Favreau had just made basically hits, things that were fairly financially and critically successful. Elf, Iron Man, Swingers. And so he makes Cowboys vs. Aliens, which I think is actually a pretty fun movie. I don't think it, it doesn't have wide appeal, I get, but it's fine for what it is. And so he'd never really made a bomb before. And so what Chef was basically an allegory of what he went through. It's this guy who is an acclaimed chef, gets a bad review, kind of goes crazy, and then starts a food truck. And the movie Chef is literally Jon Favreau's food truck in this case. And he hired a guy named Roy Choi, who is a kind of like invented the food truck craze. He designed the whole menu for the movie and stuff like that. And so it's just Jon Favreau and Roy going around and like cooking food with their friends. Like Gwyneth Paltrow's in it, Robert Downey Jr., Kevin Feige, Tom Holland, like all the Marvel people are in it. And even at one point, someone's like, "So what channel is this coming?" I'm like, "Oh, we don't know. We're just filming us like hanging out with people."
Yeah.
So it's just Jon Favreau, Roy, and I mean it's like super relaxed. It's not any of that fake drama you get in a lot of cooking shows. I powered through the whole season. It's just 8 episodes. I'll basically binge the whole thing in a day. I really liked it. Better than Transformers. Watch season 4 of The Office. I say season 3 is really the ending of the show, but season 4 is pretty good. It's still better than Transformers. And I also watched X-Men Apocalypse, and it's worse than Transformers, but it's not good.
Where does the Chef show come on at?
It's on Netflix.
Netflix, right on. Yeah, that sounds kind of interesting.
Yeah, I love the movie.
This week I was really into Britpop. I was doing a thing where I was listening to a lot of like mid-90s Britpop. So I watched 2 documentaries I'd already seen before about the era. One of them's called Supersonic, that's specifically about Oasis. And it's it's fucking hilarious. The Gallagher brothers are 2 of the funniest people who ever lived for completely different reasons. like Noel is like totally self-aware. He knows he's kind of doing a shtick, and he really just has this biting sort of cut to his humor. Liam is completely unself-aware. He has no idea that he's a fucking goon. And so they're just hilarious, and it's a really funny movie to watch. That one's probably the more well-known of the 2 of them. There was also one called... what was the other one called? What was the other? There was another Britpop documentary I watched, and I can't think of the name of it. It was also named after an Oasis song, but it was about the whole movement of Britpop. Except for some reason, Radiohead's like completely omitted. I think it's probably because they refused to participate, but I also think they should have just covered them anyway and said shitty things about them. But it also, even though there's a lot of good stuff about the whole scene, the best bits in it is also the Gallagher brothers. But I recommend both. Both of them are way better than Transformers. While Joseph's telling his, I'll figure out what the name of the other one.
That sounds great. So I'm still watching just kind of my general shows, but including Attack on Titan, which I wanted to re-mention just because it's a series that started out really good. It was a huge phenomenon, and it stayed good. And then there was some weirdness at the beginning of this season that I wasn't sure about. But it's such a solid show, and it's maintained as such a solid show with high stakes for such a long time. That I think I don't know. I'm genuinely impressed by how they continue to keep it up. I'm 1 episode behind. I'm really worried they're about to kill off the coolest character in anime, which is Levi. I look. I haven't seen all the anime, but I've seen a fair bit of anime, and Levi
You've seen it all.
is like a fucking tier above the next coolest character, and I'm going to be real bummed if they kill him. I watched the last bit of the Bad Times at the El Royale.
What do you mean the last bit?
So I saw the first 2/3 of it on a plane, and then I was like, I'm not going to pay for this, so I waited for it to come on HBO. I was really into the first 2/3, and it builds a lot of intrigue, but it just kind of falls down in the last third because it doesn't know whether it wants to be like this allegory or if it wants to be like an interesting story with like these cool, interesting, distinct characters. And so when at some point those two things have to you have to resolve one or both of them, they can't. Those two things don't come together very well. It's still better than Transformers. It's a really it's very Quentin Tarantino-esque. Everyone seems to be having a good time, and I really like the girl who's the singer in it.
She's great.
She's also in Widows, and I'm like, she's apparently a Broadway singer, which makes sense.
You know who's miscast is Dakota Johnson in that movie. I just didn't buy her as
fine.
I didn't buy her as like a badass sister.
Yeah,
protecting.
she's okay. I'm not a huge Dakota Johnson fan, though. How amazing is it that kid is not Tom Holland? I had to look at it like a million times while I'm watching the movie, be like, "Are we sure that's not Tom Holland?" He looks just like Tom Holland. And the other thing I watched, as promised, I watched Good Time with Robert motherfucking Pattinson.
Did.
And Robert Pattinson is good at it, but I was genuinely surprised. This movie's fucking excellent.
Really?
Like, it's really, really good. Like, if granted, last year was a strong year. We had, Into the Spider-Verse and stuff. But it would be in my rankings for best movies of last year.
Is it a cartoon?
No.
Because when he said Into the Spider-Verse,
He
I was
just loves that movie.
No, but that was the best movie of last year.
Okay.
So the basic premise is Robert Pattinson is like a street smart lowlife who is doing petty crimes to make money, but he's also the de facto caretaker for his brother who's mentally challenged. And his family wants to put his brother in like a facility for people with mental disabilities, and he feels like his brother is more capable, and so he takes him on crimes with him.
Whoa.
And so the whole point of the movie is that early on his brother gets into trouble, and the whole movie is Robert Pattinson essentially turning the world upside down to get his brother out of trouble. And the whole thing takes place over it's like a 24-hour period. It starts at midday and goes all the way through the night, through the morning, through the day. And it's just really it's a really interesting movie. It reminds me of Training Day. Oh. But instead of being from the rookie cop perspective, it's from this low life criminal, streetwise criminal.
That could be good.
Yeah, no, it's really, really good. It's on Amazon right now.
I remember when this movie came out, and I didn't know Robert Pattinson was in it.
Yeah, I highly recommend it. It's way better than Transformers.
I like a movie that takes place in one night.
Yeah, no, I do too. Yeah. I really like limited perspective things because you're super focused on every single moment that Robert Pattinson's character is going through, beat by beat, and it just the whole thing is super tense, but in a good way. You're just excited to see what happens next.
Cool.
So,
did you ever think of the name
Live
of it?
Forever was the name of the other Britpop documentary.
I did.
Forever.
I watched something else this week. I watched Crazy Rich Asians, which is on HBO Go.
And
I really recommend it. It's a fun movie.
It's a rom-com, right?
Yeah. I mean, it's a rom-com.
I know that's a dirty word, but
Is that a dirty word?
It's a rom-com in how, My Big Fat Greek Wedding is a rom-com. It's not really about the romance.
Yeah.
That's the thing. It's about the family dynamics. And I think her name is Constance Wu, the main character. If you ever watch Fresh Off the Boat, it's her. And I always thought she was apparently way older than she is because she looks like a middle-aged mom in Fresh Off the Boat. She is fine as hell in this movie, Crazy Rich Asians. It's really funny, though. It really is really good. I can't recommend it enough. I enjoyed it way more than I thought I was going to. Makes me want to go to Singapore real bad. Better than Transformers.
Cool stuff. Yeah, rom-com is a dirty word because traditionally they're terrible.
No, okay.
And so usually when I asked him, I said, "Is it a rom-com?" I saw in his heart there was fear that no, I need to justify this. It's not.
No, yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
I like it.
I'll have to give it a try.
Well, cool.
It's one I would definitely watch without my wife, so that should tell you.
Yeah, that is actually a pretty.
Yeah.
That's a pretty ringing
That's
endorsement.
a ringing endorsement indeed.
Yeah.
That and Sweet Home Alabama. I love.
I like Notting
Sweet
Hill.
Home.
Notting Hill is my favorite rom-com.
We should do a man's.
I was
rom-com
going to
episode.
say, I think it would be hilarious if we did our 10 favorite rom-coms.
That's
or
a good
something like
episode.
should do that next week.
Guy rom-com.
I love it. Well, tune in next week. We're gonna go through our man's list of favorite rom-coms. that's it. This is the
we're done.
closeout bit.
Yep.
This
This is where you talk.
That is, yeah. So thank you guys for listening. If you like this, please rate and subscribe and tell all your friends about us. If you want to get in touch with us, we'd love to hear what you think about all the Fox X-Men movies.
I almost forgot it's what we talked about.
Yeah. What your ranking is, which one of our rankings is closest to your ranking. And honestly, if you want to send in your favorite rom-coms, sure, why not? I'd like to hear what they are. You can also follow us on Facebook and Twitter at Real Phonies and on Instagram at Real_Phonies. Thanks to Zach Evans for art and Brian Velasquez for our theme. We'll see you guys next week.
Later.